was expecting that. Good evening, everybody. My name is Sam. My hobbies include being wrong. My wife wanted to find something that we would both enjoy doing together. That's how that panned out. Married to a French feminist vegetarian, which is fun. Laura can be quite terrifying, but she makes a lovely Madeleine. But the patriarchy, the aristocracy, it's all the same thing to her. She'd be standing at the guillotine shouting, "Let me kale." I'd rather die. But for her, come the revolution, the first people to go would be whoever decided that women's clothing shouldn't have pockets. He was actually fuming about that one. After that, I'm sorry to say, all the Americans. I don't make rules. I don't know what the Americans ever did to the French, but they hate you all. Some people just aren't meant to be friends, are they? It's very sad. But the French love to protest, and so do feminists. Are already making that synergy work for herself. She does go on a bit sometimes, if I'm honest. You can't really say anything, can you? You've got to pick your battles. I mean, is it fair that she's consistently underestimated because of her biology, that she's paid significantly less than a man for doing exactly the same job, and that she can't open jars? No, it's not fair. Again, I don't make the rules. But keep your head down, work hard, world's your oyster. That's what I always say to her. She doesn't like that, which is it's understandable. It's basically the motto for white male mediocrity, which I am representing this evening. My wife, she's younger than me, and she earns twice what I do on a 4-day week. So it's a good job. I'm very healthy psychologically, isn't it? Surprisingly so. I don't know why I'm doing comedy. I lack the foundational trauma. I'm very emotionally well balanced. It's a puzzler. That usually makes the other actor a bit jealous, which is give them something to talk to their therapist about, so that's fine. Good material there for them. It's absolutely fine. Completely forgotten what I was going to say next. This light is very distracting. We've been married for 7 years, me and Laura. I've not really contributed much in that time, if I'm honest. What I like to do, the fun thing for me each anniversary is to think what I could have gone to prison for in that time. So for 7 years I could have a firearms offence or a failure to disclose information about terrorism. It's not the one that got away. That's what it is. Of course, there's no early release for good behaviour in marriage. I've done either of those two things. I've been long gone. It's a shame. Still plugging away. Some friends of ours recently had a baby. We're getting to the stage where a lot of our friends are having children, but we can leave the house after 6, so you can balance those things out. We can't actually have children ourselves for biological reasons, not legal ones. I should clarify. Misunderstanding there. Just put a colour on the evening. It's fine, it's actually. Laura would like me to clarify as well, she's in tip-top condition, it's my fault. It turns out my sperms are about as lazy as I am, so I can't judge them. I'm not going to be honest. We were around our friend's house while they were feeding their baby. It was a spectacular performance. They're doing a bit of baby-led weaning. Well, it started and it failed. Their expensively decorated dining room wall is starting to look like an edible Jackson Pollock. You almost want to lick it. But don't, because baby food is disgusting. Nothing good in it. Nothing good. No salt or sugar or anything. I don't know when they start feeding that to them. It's like crack. But they were doing their triangle, the here comes the aeroplane nonsense. They was having none of it, but it struck me at that moment that our high expectations of public transport have been formed from such a young age. We need to really set people up for disappointment much younger. But if that was more realistic, you'd have to pay extra for the spoon. It would arrive 2 hours late. It would have some other kid's food on it. Unless you went for the business class option of having a Swiss au pair shovel it in for you. That's the other option. I do have an alternative, and I do have a plan. I used to like Thomas the Tank Engine when I was younger. The island of Soda, what a transport network fantasy land that was. My reboot is going to be a bit more realistic, so Bertie the bus seems to have been canned because of local authority funding cuts. Old people stranded everywhere. No one's going to bingo tonight. The railway network is not making any money on the island of Sodor, so they've privatised it, shut half of it down. Again, no one's going anywhere. And then, top it all off, Thomas and Friends, they've all been sold off for scrap because of their dangerous emissions. Who wants to sit behind a coal-powered steam train? It's a recipe for bronchial disease. The only people who are doing any well out of it is all Fat Controller, who's sitting in the House of Lords on a pile of cash. It's terrible. He's got his chubby little fingers crossed he'll be the next Foreign Secretary, maybe if he waits long enough. And then there's Harold the helicopter, who's off ferrying rich twats over to the Trump golf course on the west coast of the island. And that's an absolute scandal, but we're bringing that in episode 10. I think it's an absolute winner, but Laura says I'm wrong, so thank you very much.